The courtroom was flooded with harsh daytime light, pouring through tall windows like a judgment from the sky, when the single-dad janitor suddenly rose from his seat and shouted that he would defend her, no matter what it cost him. The words tore through the silence like thunder, echoing off marble walls, freezing lawyers mid-breath and sending a ripple of disbelief through the crowded room. In that moment, everyone turned to stare at him, a man in worn work clothes with trembling hands and eyes full of fear and fire, a man who looked completely out of place yet somehow unbreakable. It was the kind of moment that changes lives, the kind no one forgets. If you believe that kindness deserves a second chance and that ordinary people can do extraordinary things, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Grandma's Book right now. Your support keeps stories like this alive. His name was Aaron Cole, 39 years old, a janitor who worked long daytime shifts cleaning offices most people barely noticed. He had raised his daughter Lily alone since she was 5, after her mother passed away suddenly, leaving behind a silence that never truly left their small apartment. Aaron's life became a routine of early mornings, school lunches packed with care, and late evenings scrubbing floors while the city rushed past him. Lily, now 12, was gentle and bright, with a love for books and drawing that often kept her quiet in corners where others were loud. That gentleness, however, had become the very thing that put her on trial. The accusation had spread fast, louder than truth ever does. Lily had been blamed for something she did not do at her elite private school, a place Aaron could barely afford but worked tirelessly to keep her enrolled in, believing education was her way out of hardship. A powerful family demanded punishment, their lawyers sharp and confident, painting Lily as a problem that needed to be erased. Aaron sat through every hearing in daylight court sessions, listening to words he barely understood but felt deep in his bones. He felt small under the weight of expensive suits and cold stares, knowing he had no influence, no money, only his love for his child. As the trial dragged on, Aaron's hands grew rougher from extra shifts, his sleep thinner, his heart heavier. He watched Lily sit beside him, her feet not even touching the floor, her eyes fixed on the table as if she could disappear into the wood. Each time the judge glanced their way, Aaron felt his chest tighten. He prayed silently that someone would see the truth, but hope felt fragile when the world seemed already decided. Then came the day everything nearly collapsed. The opposing side presented evidence that looked convincing on the surface, and murmurs spread through the courtroom like an approaching storm. Aaron felt panic rise in his throat. This was it, the moment he feared, the moment Lily's future could be taken away. Something inside him broke free from fear, from doubt, from the belief that he was too small to matter. He stood up, his voice cracking yet strong, declaring that he would defend his daughter himself if he had to, that no one would take her dignity while he still breathed. The courtroom erupted in stunned whispers. The judge banged the gavel. Lawyers exchanged irritated looks. And that was when the CEO stood up. His name was Nathaniel Reeves, 50, 2 years old, the CEO of a massive education and technology foundation that quietly funded the very school at the center of the case. Until that moment, he had been silent, seated calmly in the front row, watching everything with sharp, thoughtful eyes. No one expected him to move, no one expected him to care, but he did. Nathaniel had lost his own daughter years ago, not to death, but to injustice, to a system that crushed her confidence when no one defended her. Watching Aaron stand there, shaking yet defiant, stirred something buried deep inside him. Instead of speaking from his seat, Nathaniel walked forward into the sunlight streaming across the floor, requesting permission to address the court. The room fell quiet, not out of respect alone, but shock. What Nathaniel did next changed everything. He revealed that his foundation had conducted an internal review weeks earlier after noticing inconsistencies in the school's disciplinary records. He presented clear proof, obtained legally and ethically, that the accusation against Lily had been mishandled, rushed, and influenced by bias. Surveillance data, witness timelines, and administrative emails all pointed in one direction, and it was not toward guilt. The truth unfolded slowly but unmistakably, like fog lifting under the morning sun. Aaron felt his knees weaken as relief crashed over him. Lily looked up for the first time in days, confusion giving way to hope. The judge examined the evidence carefully, the tension stretching every second longer than the last. When the ruling finally came, dismissing the charges and ordering a full investigation into the school's conduct, the air itself seemed to change. Justice had spoken, not with anger, but with clarity. Outside the courthouse, in the bright daylight that felt warmer than it ever had before, Aaron held Lily close, realizing how close he had come to losing everything that mattered. Nathaniel approached quietly, not as a CEO, but as a father who understood pain. He offered Aaron more than help, he offered respect. He arranged for Lily's education to continue in a safe, supportive environment, and ensured Aaron would never again feel powerless in a room meant to decide his child's fate. Life did not become perfect overnight, but it became hopeful. Aaron returned to his janitor job with his head held higher, knowing his voice mattered. Lily smiled more, laughed more, and slowly reclaimed the innocence that fear had tried to steal. And Nathaniel found a kind of healing he never expected, by standing up for someone when it mattered most. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that courage can come from the most unexpected places, please take a moment to like, share, and comment on this video. Your engagement helps these stories reach others who need hope.